Hi, I'm Kim Wilson,
And I'm Natasha Marchewka.
and this is Speechless.
Speechless. Speechless.
Welcome to our behind the scenes take on real life in VO, where we share our stories and our resources and our unsolicited opinions. Take it away, Natasha, because we have somebody so.
Kim can barely speak. She's speechless. Today we have Lili Wexu on the show. And there's so many reasons we love her. One is because we don't hear her or see her around in the VO circles all the time. So to bring someone new to you is really exciting to us.
Yeah.
But she's not new to this at all. She's been doing this a long time. So Lili Wexu is a native French Canadian. However, she lives in LA and she is the real freaking deal.
Like rock star VO hero.
She did the Olympics. I'm just
Yeah,
going to tell you right now, she did the Olympics.
same.
The VO for the Olympics. So she'll share that near the end. So you got to watch the whole thing or listen to the whole thing. But she's the real deal. Started out as an actress, lived in Montreal and booked a lot of commercials that were on camera, and also lived in Vancouver and met a lot of people and got the most amazing gigs, and now lives in LA, and I can't wait to go out for lunch with her.
And how'd you
Um,
get all these gigs? Networking.
Networking.
Guys, business
She's
acumen.
Yeah, but she's bilingual and that's super helpful. And she's union and just this amazing, talented human. So take a look.
I love waiting for them to show up. And yeah, here she is. Hi.
Sorry, I just realized I was like, this is not live, right?
Right.
Right.
Crazy?
Good, good.
Yay.
Yay.
Thank you so much for being here. And we're wondering, most importantly, what did you bring to share, to drink, to cheers today?
I brought my L cup, my Lily
Okay.
cup.
Yeah, you did. That's
My chai
adorable.
latte, because it's during the day. I mean, it's not a latte actually, because I don't want to make any mouth noises. But now that I'm not using the thing, it probably doesn't matter as much. But yeah, so it's a chai. I'm a chai girl, and coffee makes me totally nuts.
Yeah.
So I can't do it. But this is my daytime drink.
Very nice.
I love
What did
it.
you bring, Kim?
So I brought this farm to table, if there's such a thing, straight from Ireland, single batch Irish cream liqueur. Basically,
Mm,
it is, isn't it beautiful, by the way?
it's so beautiful.
Basically, it's like Bailey's on steroids. So,
Oh, could you buy that for me
yes,
for
I will. I will
Christmas?
bring that. So I was going to make an espresso martini, but we're out of espresso beans. So I panicked. I was like, just the Irish cream works.
I love Irish
does.
cream. That's one of my
Gorgeous.
favorite drinks as well.
I'll have a bottle
Yum.
of cheap wine.
Nice. Oh, but it's cute
Ooh,
at least.
single
Sparkling
vino, that's
wine.
cute.
Yeah.
I love
Supporting
the glass.
LGBTQ acceptance with our proud partners, estate bottled.
Oh, that's worth
Yeah,
it
it's
then.
just
Cheers.
cheers.
Thanks for being here,
Cheers.
Lily.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you for having me.
Mm.
Wonderful ladies of VO.
Mm. Yay. We're going to jump right in and then ask you other questions as we go along. But as a fellow Canadian, so I've known of Lily for a very long time. She's only known of me for like 5 minutes, but I've known of her for probably 20 years or so.
Because you guys are Canadian, right?
We're Canadian, and my piano player from way back in the day when I was a singer, he said, "You've heard of Lili Wexu, haven't you?" And I said, "Yes." And so I've been following you ever since, sort of a little bit on your journey, like not stalking, just following a little bit.
Stalking.
So, yeah. So, you were doing so well in Montreal. I know that. And when did you feel you needed to move to LA? Let's start with that.
So I don't think it's not that I guess I felt like I needed it actually, now that you say it that way. I just was working a lot and I felt like I had hit the ceiling of what I was
Okay.
going to be able to do there.
Yeah.
And I wanted to push myself, and I needed a challenge. And also, like, as an actress, I wanted to get the LA teachers. I wanted to just go further in my craft as an actress
Mm.
even though the main squeeze is voice,
Mm.
acting is my main love.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so, so I really wanted to just push myself on that level. And I felt like LA would have those people that could help me
Yep.
surpass myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always felt a connection to the US because when I was young, when I was a kid, we lived in the US.
Oh,
So
okay.
for a few years, when I was like in kindergarten or first grade or whatever, and then we moved back. So I never felt like it was like a crazy dream or anything that was impossible. I didn't have papers from that. I think we moved back to Canada just before becoming citizens. So I had to do the whole process, but in my mind, I was comfortable with the culture and I was, it
Mm-hmm.
just wasn't that far-fetched. So when I booked the Olympics, um, then I remember a friend of mine who works on games all over the world said, if you wanted to move, like, this is your ticket. Like, this is the way to
Mm-hmm.
get your green card.
Right.
So I
Right.
was like,
Ah.
okay, I'll give it a try. And it worked. So I just like
Wow.
yeah, it was a hard, that process is not fun.
Oh no.
Yeah,
It's
but
not
it
fun.
was but it worked and I'm really grateful that it did. And it had it not worked, it wouldn't have worked, and that would have been that. But yeah, so that's
So,
kind of
Well,
so you
mm,
were really an actress first, and then you kind of fell into voiceover, or was
well,
it kind of a little of both? And you were like, I'm going to
yeah,
pursue both here. And LA sounds like a great place for an actress and voiceover.
yeah. So I was always wanted to be an actor. Well, I wanted to be comedian, really is what I wanted to be. There was a show in Quebec called Samedi de Rire. It's in French. It's like a Saturday Laughs or whatever, and it's like skits. It's like Saturday Night Live,
Sure.
but it's on Saturday morning. It's kid friendly, but it's hilarious. And I just wanted to do what they did. Like that's what I wanted to do. But I did have a connection to my voice when I was a kid. I had a lower voice than a lot of the kids, and I actually thought I had a great voice when I was a kid,
that's
which is
awesome.
it's weird to say because I don't think I have a great voice now, but as a kid, I was like, I felt like I had a connection to my voice. So voice was always there. And then I took singing lessons when I was a kid, and that did not work out. The nuns just kind of like they ruled me out. They were like, there's a buzzing bee in here, and that just killed they destroyed
Oh
my
my
dream
gosh.
pretty much. Yeah.
Oh,
So
Yeah. God
the
bless them.
yeah,
yeah.
right,
Just
exactly.
like Jesus. Okay.
So that went away. And then and then I still wanted to be an actress and all that, but had a difficult kind of home life as a teenager and things like that. So as a young adult, I started acting again. And then that's when my voice that year, everybody was complimenting it. And I was working in a bar and they were airing a radio show. And anyway, long story short, but they asked me to come and record some liners. They kept saying the DJs would hang out there and they kept saying, you have a great voice. You should come to the radio. And I was like,
Ah, there's
creepy
the
old
ticket.
guys.
You worked in a
I know, but
bar
I was
where
like, these
they,
creepy old guys, like,
Okay.
I'm not gonna go over
yep.
there.
Viewers, this is how you get into the business. You work at a bar where the DJs hang out.
Yeah,
Step one.
pretty
Step
much.
one to our book,
This
How
is
to Be a VO. Okay,
this is
go
so
ahead.
bad.
It's true
So
though.
so yeah, so then they asked me to come and record some liners one day, and I did, and I just
Loved it.
loved it. And I also knew that it was my ticket to whatever was going on in my life. I was like, this is it.
Mm,
This is what I
mm,
might need to do to get out of this situation. And I continued studying acting and things like that. But it was really hard on that front. Like I would book a lot of commercials and things like that. I booked a ton of commercials back home, like on camera. That was like easy for me, but getting any real acting gigs was really, really hard. And voice was just kind of like easy. And not
yeah.
easy I don't want to make it sound, because it's not easy.
Mhm.
My mentor kind of taught me a lot of things, and he, when he left me, he told me, he's like, go buy this, go buy this, go buy that. I'm going to plug it for you, but like you're on your own now, you know. And that road was hard in the sense I had to do it myself, and it was a lot
Mhm.
of business. It was like creating a
Yes.
business,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which I happen to be really good at.
Mm.
So it worked out, but it was hard work. But I would have success with it. Like I would knock on doors and it would work, you know?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So so that's kind of so I got a lot of success like doing that. So
Mhm.
I was just like, okay, well, I'm just going to keep going that path, still studying acting the whole time and really wanting to act the whole time and getting little opportunities here and there. But the voice really is what kind of took off for me.
Mhm.
Awesome.
It's that combination of talent and business skill and drive that makes anyone a success in having their own voiceover business. So you're the epitome of that. Plus, actress, and beautiful, but still, those are the things.
Thank you. I
I
don't know
y-
anything
I
about the
remember
voice.
you used to have a really short haircut, and it looked so good as well. Yeah,
Oh,
gorgeous.
thank
Anyone can
you.
wear really short hair.
I mean, I
It's
wish I could
extra.
do that now. Now I'm losing hair. It's like a whole like pushing
Oh
it.
God, please stop. I know. I don't, please don't even. It's sensitive. You know, it's growing in other places. What
That
is happening at every
too.
stoplight? I'm like, what the hell is
Okay,
that?
Kim.
Okay. All right. Now
Here, you're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
we're
So
passing over this big, huge thing, which was
Yeah.
just like a bomb that dropped and we didn't address it. The Olympics. How did you score that and tell us all about that?
Okay, wait.
What?
I want to go to a break so everyone can be on the edge
Okay.
of their seat, and then we'll come back and you tell us how in the world you scored the Olympics and what the
Mm,
process was. Okay, be right
yeah.
back. Okay, jumping in real quick here
Yeah.
with our speechless promo. We want to thank our sponsors, StudioBricks and Vocal Booth to Go. You know we love you. We know you love us, and we know
We
you
know
guys
that you
love
know
them.
that
And
we know
yeah.
hearts.
Okay. Talking about our 100th episode, it's coming up in April. We're going to have huge prizes. So you need to be signed up for our newsletter. Do go to speechlessvo.com.
And they're good
They're
prizes,
really
let
good
me tell
prizes.
you.
Our 100th show is dedicated to Maggie Peisner, a lovely, talented voice actor we love so much, and we miss her terribly.
Mm,
And so we've got some great prizes to celebrate
okay.
her. Also, this show is airing right now today when VO Atlanta starts. Say hi to us. Show us you're subscribed to our newsletter, and we are going to give you a giveaway. We will have them in our pocket to give you a giveaway. So
They're
please
small, but they're mighty.
say hi and show us you're subscribed to our newsletter. We don't know how you're going to do that, but maybe if you're not subscribed, show us that you're subscribed, or just tell us and we'll look you up. And also, one last thing, our
Oh, yeah.
Speechless VO Secret Society and our super
It's a secret.
secret speakeasy VO support group. So it's for working pros only to discuss your VO business behind the scenes, not on Facebook in a group that, it's more private. And then we have a monthly super secret VO support group where we discuss, well, you and each other and support each other. Check
And
that
give
out on
advice, yeah.
speechlessvo.com. See ya. Okay, hi, we are back and excited to hear from Lili Wexu about the process of auditioning for the Olympics, how she scored that gig, etc. Lili, tell us, we're on the edge of our seats.
so I
Silence.
lived in Vancouver. So I lived in Vancouver for a while and I got
What years? What
okay,
years?
so it was 2003 to
Mm,
2005 to yeah,
mhm,
2003 to 2005, I want to say, or
mhm,
2006, something like that. And at that time, Vancouver had gotten the Olympics, the bid.
mm.
So the city knew like this was going to happen. And I remember telling my roommate at the time when I was working in my closet in our house, um, that I wanted to do something for the Olympics. I was like, I don't know what it is, but I want to do something for the Olympics.
Oh, I love you so much.
So
I
then,
love your
so then,
aspirational.
so then I worked there. So I was doing voice part-time and I was running a little music venue there and booking bands because I have a huge
Which
passion.
one? I used to
Uh,
live there for my 3-year stint
the
as well.
Media Club. Do you
Oh,
remember the
okay.
Media
I don't
Club?
remember.
It was on Cannon
Maybe it
Street,
wasn't there.
right downtown. It was on Cannon.
Okay.
It used to be called the Press Club a long time ago.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So anyway, I booked bands in that club, and it was a really cool little bar because the big bands, like the agents would come to me. They would be a small band, and then they would grow, and they would go to the
Yes.
Richards, and then they would go to the Commodore, and then So I was in a
Yes.
ring of all these. I was in touch with all these agents and these promoters and these
Yes.
bands, whatever. Through that, I met this one guy who was a he worked for the Olympics. We got paired together to judge talent, like to judge musicians.
What?
Yeah. We just randomly got paired together and they did an event at the club. And so we became friendly. And I didn't even know really his involvement with the Olympics. Like I knew he was in something, but I didn't really know much more than that. But we became good friends. And he found out that I was doing voice work. And
Uh-huh.
he said, "Oh, he referred me to a group that was doing the pre-Olympics. They were doing like the year before the Olympics. They were doing all these events, and they needed a bilingual announcer. So the big edge was that I was bilingual. So that was a huge bonus.
Yes.
Awesome.
So I worked for those guys and went really well. And then they
What were
passed
you
on.
doing there, though? What were you doing? Just like
So
little
I was a public
spots?
address. So no, I was a public address announcer in a stadium for like the 1 year countdown to the Olympics.
Got it.
They were presenting some, I think some athletes and some like show elements. They were just Vancouver was celebrating like a year before the Olympics, like it's coming up, you know? So it was a big event and I was the public address announcer. And I don't think I even had to audition for that. Maybe I sent a demo, like I don't remember what happened. I think that actually that guy happened to be one of my agent's clients. So it all worked out. It was all like kind of connected. So it all worked out. Those guys referred me to the actual guys who got the bid to produce the Olympics. David Atkins Enterprises, they were called. And so they then sent me, you know, they asked me for an audition. And I was like, wow, I can't believe like I had wanted to be involved, but now I was like auditioning to be a public address announcer. So I did the audition. I must have recorded it, I don't know how many times. And I finally
Right.
one day, yeah, finally I was like, I'm just gonna send it. Like I have to send it, you know? And I sent it, and then they got back to me right away and they were like, we love it. And that was done. And then the medals approached me to
So
I
it was a different sort of a
opening-
production.
Yeah. So the production company that hired me they were doing the opening and the closing ceremonies.
And that's it. Right. Well, that's it.
all
It's
they were
huge,
doing.
but
Yeah,
yeah.
that's exactly. That's their gig. And
Yeah.
then there's in between all the medals, giving away the medals, like third place, you know, all those announcements. So, and there's various medals, you know,
I got
ceremonies
chills.
everywhere.
It's so exciting.
Yeah. So then the medals contacted us like almost around the same time. And I got a separate email. I don't know how they got my name, but
Oh,
they got it. Yeah, I have no idea. They sent an email and then I sent it to my agent and I was like, can we do both? Like, that's friggin' awesome, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, and they were like, no, they wanted rehearsals at the same time. So I had to pick one of them. That's when, you know, my buddy who had referred me very originally said, well, if you do the opening and the closing, that's kind of the big ticket. Because he was in the games business and he knew, he's like, that's the ticket. Like I thought the ticket was medals. I was like, giving away medals. Like that's
yeah, right.
you know? That probably honestly would have been too hard for me. I probably would have cried.
I was gonna say I would have been bawling the entire time. All the national anthems.
Yeah, that was
I would have
really hard to
bawling.
keep it together. It is
Yeah.
hard to keep it together. Like I remember when I said like Canada, you know, like
Oh.
I was like, yeah, it was
No.
hard.
That would have been me if I had
Yeah,
to do it. Yeah.
it's tough, you know. And then there was the guy who had died, like a luge guy who had died,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Oh my
you know,
God.
anyway, so it's emotional, you know. So so anyway, I was recommended to do the opening and the closing in view of perhaps getting a green card one day. So that's what we went for. But you know, secretly I was like, oh, the medals sounded really good. It's so funny because people kept texting me when the medals were occurring. They were like, are you doing the medals? And I was like, nope, it's somebody that sounds exactly like me. So it was funny.
So the opening and closing is live.
It's
was
live.
live.
Yeah. And that
Wow.
was really stressful. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They were
stressful.
we rehearse because if something goes wrong, they have the recordings. So it's all in the can.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Except for
But
if you stutter, you can't. Is it
no,
on
no,
a
no.
delay?
Exactly. So that part is really freaky. And the crazy part was that this production company has so much experience. Okay. They do this in their sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have in your headphones and working live. I don't know if you girls ever worked
I
live.
have not worked live. And I
One time.
thank you.
Natasha.
Yeah.
So in this particular case, I've worked live several times, and it's not always like that. Sometimes you only get your person in the headphones who's cueing you, QV, right? So you only get that person. That's great because you're just listening to one person. Well, with them, however they had it set up, it's not like that. You hear everybody talking.
Oh my
And then there's one, and
Lord.
they keep making jokes, and they're like so experienced, and
Right.
just the way they worked, like our producer, her name was Julia. She was the best producer I've ever worked with, but she was constantly making jokes. So you're there like trying to focus, trying to get it together, and there's no room. There's no room for error. There's no
Right.
room for error. And, you know, so I was constantly in between, like chewing my words, like,
Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
make sure that I didn't trip on my words or do
For
anything.
our listeners, she
Um,
was just moving her mouth really large. So we have a
Right.
this podcast, and
Yes, yes,
you're
obviously.
making big mouth.
Yeah, so I was chewing, I was like whispering like very lowly my words,
Okay.
to make sure that just to
They were
Your
there
consonants.
on your mouth, on your
on
tongue.
your mouth, making
Yeah.
sure that I don't trip on words, because you can't go like, "Gah, gah," So
Right.
it's yeah, it's like literally every time QVO, it was like, I've done skydiving and trapeze. So I know what that actually feels like.
Yeah.
Actually, the very same thing. Like it's
Okay.
as
Yes.
freaky. Like you're going, you're
Same.
like, okay, here we go.
I
So
don't know if this is for me. I mean, I know that I don't think live is for me. I like
it's
the pre-records. I'm good.
I'll say this, like, have you ever done any theater, any
Yeah.
I
it,
have,
the
yes.
thrill that we get from doing
Yeah.
that?
When
Yeah.
So
it,
it's like,
yes,
But
but
if
it's
you're
when it's
nervous, you make a
over.
mistake.
When
yeah,
it's over, I'm glad I've done when the acting thing is over, when I've done a lot of acting and when it's over, I'm always glad I did it. But during the moment, I'm like,
It's terrifying. Yeah, it's
yeah.
terrifying.
yeah,
But there's also something like your adrenaline is high and
yes, it's the
you go
same.
into a certain place, like as I think as a professional, like you just go into a certain place and you're hyper alert and you just everything
Yes, your
there's like
senses are pricked.
yeah, and it works out, exactly. I wish people could see you do
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yeah.
like a porcupine. Imagine a porcupine. Like every sense is like every neuron is on the tip of every hair follicle of your body. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Lily, you are so incredibly experienced. I am going to ask you one more question, and that is, I know you have a whole series of courses and ebooks and things, and I know our audience would learn a lot. Tell us about your series of learning educational materials.
Okay. So I wrote these 3 books called Get Clever, Get Clever about voice acting and announcing. And basically, part 1 is just helping you figure out what you need to start your journey.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Acting lessons, the budget for gear, all the things that you need to think about as you're getting your journey started. It's called Becoming an Artist. So that's book 1. Book 2 is all about the tech of what we have to deal with. And book
Mhm.
3 is about the business side.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really like a pretty comprehensive guide. The 3 books are pretty comprehensive, but they're short, concise, to the point.
Mm-hmm.
They were basically like the roadmap, that I wish I had,
Yeah.
years ago when I started. So
Work in a bar, get to know people.
Yeah.
A little more precise, little more
Yeah.
to do, yeah.
Book
yeah,
some bands.
but it's yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do some things that are completely not related. But that's also one of the lessons is that people always think like it's amazing what you have around you in your real life when you want to get
Yeah.
into this and the resources that are there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like to set you up. So it's not really acting based. It's just like the
Okay.
information you need. Yeah, it's just
Yes.
information you need and what is expected. Like the first book, Becoming an Artist, is really about what is expected from you on the market.
Professionally. I love
Yeah.
it.
Like what
Yeah.
does an agent expect from you? What does a client expect from you? They need a certain level of of artist
Professionalism.
talent.
Mhm.
So
Right.
all
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Business acumen.
Yeah.
Good word.
But high quality, excellent talent. That's something that I've learned
Talent,
here in
yeah.
LA, that you start at excellent and then maybe you'll be considered, right?
Yeah,
You have to
right.
be excellent.
The bar is
You won't
so
be.
high. It's
Yeah.
so high in LA.
Yeah.
So because there's like so many people are talented, so many beautiful voices, like it's really anyway. So those are the books. There's sort of a concise like roadmap to help you get started on your journey and it's modernized into what it is like today. Because obviously you can't work in a bar in
Right.
Montreal
Yep.
in
Right.
1990,
Yep.
I don't know what.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
the courses are basically, which are going to be launching in the spring, probably in the
Oh,
late
great.
spring. They're, I coach privately, and they're basically what I teach privately to my students, but in an
Ah,
Mm.
online form that you can do yourself. And there will be a version of the course. So it's going to be an online course, but there will be a version probably where I coach as well. But there is going to be a DIY, a more affordable kind of DIY version. And
mhm.
this is all about this first one. There's 3 courses I'm preparing, but this first one is all about the conversational read. It is
Mm.
all about that, which you
Mhm.
girls are great at, but a lot of people struggle at.
Oh, yeah. We
Yeah.
struggle.
So, crossing that bridge between being the announcer, which is most people who start in the business do have announcer tendencies because that's what they hear on
Yep.
TV.
That's
So
what we've heard all our life, right?
right, exactly. So
Mhm.
we're conditioned for that, but we have to break through and create that conversational read. So it's a whole course about that. And then the second course is going to be about script analysis, and the third course about branding in the business and all that stuff.
Cool. Yay.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That is
Well,
exciting.
Yeah, go
we
ahead.
look forward to sharing that with like on our
Yeah,
Yeah.
notes and everything. Yeah.
awesome.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it because it's really everything I know and everything I've put into practice and everything that works for people and for me. Like these
Yeah.
are techniques that I use myself to
Yeah.
book work.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Fantastic. Well,
Love it.
cheers to you. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for being here. So great to meet you
Thank you.
and talk to you. And I hope to have you back again as well. We would love to see you
Thank
again.
you. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Cheers, Lily.
Cheers.
This episode of Speechless is brought to you by
Voice talent need quiet.
For us, quiet comes in the form of a StudioBricks booth.
I love my StudioBricks because it's whisper quiet in my incredibly noisy neighborhood.
And I love my booth because when clients see me on Zoom, they know I'm a pro.
Go to StudioBricks.com.
World-class sound isolation, light environmental footprint. Kim, have you ever made a pillow tent in your hotel room when a client asks for an audition or a job when you're away?
Yes. Yes. And I know what you're going to say. VOMO, the VO mobile booth, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a portable vocal booth and ready for recording wherever and whenever. I feel like I really need that because I get nervous about pillow forts. So,
Yeah.
so why do we need it then?
Because it folds up very nice and neat and you can take it with you wherever you go.
Absolutely. And you can check it easily, which I've done many times. And also, it comes with accessories like a light, and you can position your mic however you want.
No more pillow forts,
Yes, please.
please.
Vocalbooth2go.com for VO recording and accessories.
Speechless.